So back to the questionable activities and traps. One very common practice in real estate investing is a technique called wholesaling. Wholesaling is a process in which a we buy houses investor gets your home under contract and then assigns the contract to another buyer who actually closes on your home. Why do some investors choose to wholesale instead of buying your home and fixing it up? Well, there are several reasons for this. Amongst them are that they don't have money to buy the home, or they don't like the headaches and liability associated with renovating a home, or they may just need to get paid immediately instead of waiting months for the property to be renovated and sold. They need cash now. So, let me give you an example to better explain the wholesaling process. Let's say Bill Investor says that he'll buy your home for $100,000 cash and can close in 2 weeks. You say great, you sign the contract with him. Bill then goes to Jim Investor and says, hey Jim, I have a house in Northwest Washington, D.C. under contract. Would you like to buy it for $120,000? So Jim runs his numbers, thinks he can still make a profit by buying your home for $120,000. So he says, sure, Bill. At this point, Bill prepares a document called an assignment of interest and assigns the contract to Jim. In 2 weeks, Jim shows up to settlement and pays the settlement company $120,000. $20,000 goes to Bill, $100,000, the contract amount that Bill promises, goes to you. Now, of course, if you have a mortgage that needs to be paid off and other settlement costs, you won't get the full $100,000, but you get the point. The scenario I just outlined in and of itself really isn't a problem at all. The problem occurs when Bill gets your house under contract and promises to close in 2 weeks with cash that he really doesn't have. And the sad truth is, most investors out there today don't have the cash to buy your home. Because Bill doesn't have the cash, he must quickly find a buyer who has the cash and to whom he can assign the contract. But what often ends up happening is Bill can't find a buyer, or he finds a buyer, but the buyer backs out. Either way, you are left without a buyer for your home. You thought you'd signed a sign and sealed contract. You even started packing and had movers lined up. Then you get a call from Bill. Hopefully, if he's professional enough to even call you. Bill can't buy your home and the deal's off. Needless to say, this can be a crushing disappointment, especially if you have an impending foreclosure auction or some type of deadline forcing you to move. We get calls every month from people similar to this. So how do you avoid this situation? Very simply, you require the buyer to show you proof of funds before you ever sign a contract with a We Buy Houses company. Any reputable property investor should be able to share a current bank statement showing the sufficient funds, the available cash, to purchase your home. You also must require the real estate investor to make a large non-refundable deposit to the settlement company handling the closing. That way, if like in the example I just mentioned, Bill can't find Jim the buyer, Bill forfeits the $5,000 to you.